Good morning and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. We are of course live ahead of FPL Game Week 3. A very, very big game week nevertheless. Like there's a lot going off today and I think it's going to be a very, very popular stream. Of course, we've got obviously, you know, the Palmer situation, who are going to be the best replacements. I've already made my move. I made it last night before the decrease and potentially a player's rise. So we'll talk a little bit more about that one. Of course, as well with that, we have captaincy because it is very much wide open with Mohamed Salah not having the easiest fixture. Of course, Haaland not being as highly owned. A lot of people are, of course, looking at alternative assets. You've, of course, got Bruno Fernandes with a great fixture. Some other United, obviously, midfielders as well with pretty decent fixtures. People are looking at Pedro. People are still backing Mohamed Salah, and I 100% get that as well because he is just one of the GOATs of the game. Of course, get your votes in for the poll. If you have gone for another option, let me know, which was very popular last night, and it seemed very, very popular yet again on today's stream. Like I said, captaincy extremely split across the board. So yeah, if you are voting other, let me know in the comments section. Thank you for everybody that is here nice and early as well. Obviously, these are going to be the streams on Saturday mornings. They're going to be very, very early from around probably 7 o'clock most mornings when, of course, it is a 11 o'clock deadline. We're going to be there. We're going to be there nice and early. We're going to try and help as many people out as possible. Of course, we will be doing team reviews, though those will happen in an hour at 8 o'clock. So make sure you are submitting your team for team reviews. We do those over on Twitter. My Twitter, of course, is at FPLTom_. And yeah, we'll do those at 8 o'clock UK time. So in about an hour's time, we will be reviewing your guys' team. So make sure you're getting them sent in. Let's have a look what's kicking off in the chat early doors then. We've got some absolute legends in here already. Kyle, Jack, Mr. Garland. Thank you very much for being here nice and early. Hope you guys are doing well. Of course, if you do have any obviously questions, a lot of people looking at Chris Wood as captain. I mean, West Ham have been very, very bad, so I understand that as a decision. I do understand that as a decision. I get the Chris Wood captaincy. It could be a pretty decent move, to be honest. So I don't mind that one either. Yeah, someone said I'm going with Wood. Just can't trust the Bruno. Yeah, I get it. I do get it, man. I do get why everybody is, of course, doubting Bruno. Midweek, it wasn't a great result for United. I think that's obviously probably put a lot of people off as well. In terms of my captain, it does depend on transfer, and I will talk about my captain in a bit, but it might potentially come down to a coin toss. Currently, it is sat on Bruno, but I am, of course, open to another captaincy option. I am open to it. Like, I've not even ruled out Mohamed Salah. Like, I think it is a bit boring, but at the same time, it's just like, he is just a good pick, isn't he? So, yeah. Abby's in the chat as well. Hope you're doing good, Abby, this morning. She says, I might captain Saar. Okay, bold. I do feel like this is a week where you maybe could go against, obviously, the grain. It does, like I said, feel very, very split in terms of captaincy for this week. So, yeah, I'm all up for a bit of a differential captain this week. Like I said, obviously, Liverpool against Arsenal, not the most ideal fixture. And I do feel like people are, of course, going to look against Mohamed Salah. So, let's talk about my team then. This is obviously how we scored in Game Week 2. Again, another pretty disappointing game week across the board. The defence has probably been the best part of my team at the start of the season. It just has. We've picked the players like, obviously, Tarkowski's been decent. Porro's been decent. Anderson hitting DEFCON as well last week. These guys have been pretty much the I would say, like, the saviours of this team. Like, that I'm pretty happy with the defence. Everybody else has massively disappointed, to be honest. So, yeah. It's not been a great start, but I'm not breaking out the wild card. We've got 2 free transfers. We've made one already, and I already feel more confident with how the side is looking. So let's talk you through the first transfer I've made, and obviously then the potential ones as well. So let's head to pick team, and as you can see, we have picked up ourselves an Anton Semenyo. I think he probably is one of the best midfield options, one of the best Palmer replacements. Of course, you can go and just select straight within your side, in my personal opinion. Like, I do think it is just going to be one of those where, yeah, like, you can just stick with him. He's going to play, you know, good minutes. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. He is I think for me, probably going to be a very, very good option. So I'm pretty happy with him as a pick. And yeah, we've obviously got one more free. And with us taking a little bit of money out that midfield, I am looking at, obviously, Cooper Jr. and I'm going, we can upgrade him. We can go and get ourselves a forward. So the forwards that I'm currently suggesting or currently looking at are Mateta and João Pedro. Those are the two that I've narrowed it down to. I know people are probably going to say Chris Wood in the chat. I've narrowed it down to João Pedro and Mateta. The reason I'm not going for Chris Wood is I'm on free hit game week 6. One of Chris Wood's best fixtures is in 6, so I can just pick him up there. So yeah, that's kind of where my head's at with the Chris Wood pick at the moment. But as you can see, this is how we're obviously lining up at the moment. And yeah, like I said, that's the final decision really we've got to make. Do I go and get that extra forward, or do we take 2 into the to the international break, which is never a bad thing to do, and maybe have a little bit of a look at how the team is lining up after that point. That's something we of course could do there, or we could also, you know, make that move. We could go for João Pedro, and I could give him the armband. That's the other thing I've thought about. Or we go in early on Mateta and get ahead. Like if he scores today, I guarantee his price will probably go up over the international break. So yeah. Semedo's fixture, his best fixture is in 6. I get that. I do get that. But I bought him for just the long term. Regardless of 6, like, I have just bought him for the long term fixtures. Like, his best fixture is in 6. I get it. But, like, I'm realistically happy to play Semedo up until I probably wildcard in, like, 13, 14. Like, I'm genuinely really, really happy just to keep him for this whole time period. I think obviously with European football coming in for Saar around game week 7 here, that of course would be a period where then I would be like, I'm a little bit like scared of maybe early substitutions or rotations. Whereas Semedo, no European football, I'm just happy to keep the guy long term. Like I think he could just be one of those where I've set him now and he's just going to remain till I wildcard. So yeah. The thing is as well, like Chris Wood probably would come out. Like he would be a transfer that I would then have to make again. Whereas Mateta, again, I probably could maybe leave. I could probably leave João Pedro. Like it's one of those. It is one of those. I understand like people saying, yeah, he's got his best fixture in 6, 100%. But I think I'm just going to leave him. And I feel like the way that Bournemouth play, it almost suits them to play against those sides that are a little bit better. So maybe like a today game where they're going to be on the high press, I think he could do really well out of it. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on that. I'm obviously open to some suggestions. I'm open to people deciding maybe what to do. I think, like I said, though, it is probably a split decision for me between picking up, of course, João Pedro or Mateta. Let's have a look. Is Gakpo and Salah in the same midfield risky? I mean, not now. Not now, but obviously I do worry about Gakpo longer term if they go and sign Isak, which looks like it is probably going to be one of those dominoes that could fall into place. I was thinking of a free hit game week 6 because I don't have any City players. 100% the same thing that I'm doing, mate. Free hit, get Haaland in. He's the best captain for that week. If Haaland's not available, like say he picks up an injury, then of course I think the free hit 6 gets moved back. Do I think Kluivert, when he's back, makes Semedo worse? Not really. Like, his stats left and right, they're fairly similar, whatever wing he plays on. So I don't think he makes him a worse asset. Like, he's not taking penalties off him, is he? So I still think he's a pretty good asset. And I do feel like this year could be his year that he kind of has like his Brian Mbeumo year, if you like. The year that he takes himself, I would say, from like the middling, kind of mid-table, upper mid-table, I would say, player to that like key talisman, because Bournemouth don't quite have it. Like I know Kluivert was at little bits, Evan Nielsen was, like they never really had that Brian Mbeumo, did they? They never had that guy you're like, yep, he's the one, he's the go-to pick. They never had it last year. And I do just think this year it could be his year. He's definitely started the season strong. So let's see if he can continue that. Burn or Porro on the bench, asks Jamie T. Oh man, that is a toughie. I think maybe with Porro having set piece share, he could be the slightly better pick. But Burn's floor, I would say, is probably 4 at the moment with Defcon. So yeah, I think I think I'd maybe be tempted to go Burn, you know, just because the floor's a little bit higher. Ceiling, definitely higher with Porro. Floor, probably higher with Burn. Thoughts on Wood versus Bruno Cap this week? I always try and prefer to captain a midfielder. I know I'm looking at, obviously, João Pedro myself. I do just think Bruno plays the full 90. I don't know if Chris Wood does. Like, he has been coming off a little bit early for Igor Jesus. So, yeah, I would be... Yeah, I'd be a little bit shaky. We can do, obviously, a captaincy flip on that one. I understand the appeal of Chris Wood. Like, West Ham have looked god-awful, haven't they? Bench Semenyo or Reinders. Oh, surely there's got to be someone else on the bench you can do there. Yeah, someone makes a valid point. Why would you bench him when he's in form? I think it's a good fixture for Reinders as well. Like, there's surely got to be someone. Yeah, I reckon there's got to be someone. Konza or Van Dijk this week? I mean, Van Dijk very easily could pick up DEFCON. Like, I don't think Konza's picked up a single point yet. So, yeah, I probably would go with Van Dijk. I think, like I said, I expect him to probably pick up DEFCON on that one. Would you rather back the assistant manager chip or 2 times chips like this season? I would rather have the 2 times chips this season. I think it's made the game a lot more fun. There's a lot more to think about. The assistant manager, very swingy chip. Very, very swingy chip. And I know some people benefit from that. I was one of the ones that did benefit from that. Like, I had a pretty good swing off the back of it. But I understand some people obviously didn't. So, I think, you know, adding those sort of chips, it can be good. But, yeah, it's one of those. Is Bruno the safer captain because he's got DEFCON? Again, could be because he's got, like I said, that higher floor with DEFCON. But I definitely think, you know, there probably maybe is more players with a higher ceiling. Like, that's the thing. Like, if Bruno's playing deep again, he might not be the best captaincy option. Like, he might not. Have I heard any news about Strand Larsen? I personally don't think he'll play. I think all this rumour with Newcastle is probably going to be, that's it. He's just not going to play. I moved Palmer out and also upgraded one of my defenders, but the Wolves press conference, now I have 6 attackers assuming Strand Larsen won't start. Should I take a hit to upgrade Gui? What about you? Like, who's your bench defenders? Like, because if they've got DEFCON, I probably would just stick with. Like I said, their floor is probably going to be 4. Like if I'm bringing in, like, say if I had Strand Larsen and it was like, say, Anderson coming in, I don't think I would make a move because I feel like Anderson's floor is just going to be 4 anyway. So yeah. Should I start Rodgers or Kudus? Oh man, that is a toughie. I think I'd probably maybe edge towards Kudus. Yeah. Yeah, Bruno could still get assists. He could still get a goal from a penalty. 100%. Like, there's all these options, aren't there? Thoughts on Palmer and Gui out, Sarr and Wood and Chris Wood. I like that. I like the Chris Wood move, Captain Lewis. I don't mind that. I think that's a pretty steady move, to be honest, mate. I like it. I like it. Do you think he will ever reach the DEFCON threshold because he is playing such a bad attacking team? Who? Who are you on about? If you're on about Bruno, he hit it last week. He nearly hit it in game week 1. Rice, Wirtz, Reinders, bench. I would say maybe given recent form, Wirtz. But at the same time, he's on corners. This game could very easily be decided by a set piece. Like, that is tough. I think probably maybe Rice, but yeah, I think maybe back the home team, Liverpool, a little bit. But Wirtz has been very, very shaky in recent weeks, hasn't he? By the way, guys, if you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button if you're already an existing subscriber. Let's see if we can try and smash out 50 likes nice and early. Of course, if you are a new subscriber to the channel, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 17.5k subscribers before we end this weekend, to be honest. So, like I said, if you are new around here, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. It actually means the world to me. And, yeah, it'd be nice to hit another milestone right before, a little bit of a break. Would you suggest Palmer to a United asset? I have 2 free transfers for next game week after the international window, or double transfer Palmer to Sarr and Gui to Wood. I like the Gui to Wood move. I think that is a very, very good move, especially if you're going to think about captaining Chris Wood. But I also like if you just want to go for the one United player. Like, I get it. They've got a great fixture this week. I see why people are jumping onto it. If you think, like, this is the thing, if you think Cunha or Mbeumo are going to be better options, then, of course, look at them as options as well. Are you doing a striker transfer? I'm just concerned with moving into game week 4 with 0 transfers. 100%, that is my same worry as well. I'm thinking about going João Pedro. I'm thinking about going Mateta. Those are the 2 top transfer suggestions on Fantasy Football Hub. Of course, if you want to go and check their amazing website out, link in the description. But yeah, that is kind of where my head is at the moment is, do I go for Mateta or João Pedro? It literally is Mateta or João Pedro, and then do I give the captaincy to João Pedro? Because I think João Pedro is very much a good captaincy option for this week. Now, of course, Palmer's out. He's going to play the 10. He's going to be on penalties. So, yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I have Watkins, Wood, and João Pedro. Would you transfer any of them out for Mateta in game week 4? I mean, if Watkins blanks again, then there's that definite possibility that could happen, right? I took a transfer -4 to take out Palmer for Semenyo. Avoid playing Konza. I probably would have just played Konza. I really think -4s this year, not as appealing with the amount of chips we've got. Would you say free hit 6 with no Haaland in my team at the moment? I would say yeah. I think that's the way that a lot of people, the non-Haaland people, are going to be looking up. Is that's his best fixture for predicted points. That's where ultimately a lot of us don't have him. So it makes sense to use that free hit there. Or I would say in game week 17, obviously there's rumours that if Palace, of course, progress to the quarterfinals of the Carabao, then they could blank in that fixture. You don't know who they're going to face in the Carabao, so that could obviously have knock-on effects. But we do get a lot of free transfers around that point, so it could be a lot more easy to navigate than I think maybe some people are suggesting. Yeah. Hey, Abby, I don't mind it. I don't mind. He's got a great record, hasn't he? He has got an absolutely terrific record. So, yeah, I fully understand if you want to back it, want to go for it. I get it. I get it. I really, really do get it. He does have... Mateta has the better fixtures in game week 4 and game week 5. He genuinely does. They're probably some of the best fixtures you could ask for right now. My big concern, though, is obviously that West Ham fixture. What if Potter gets battered? Let's say hypothetically, right? Potter gets battered today. They lose heavy, right? The guy's gone. They bring in Mourinho. That then becomes not an easy fixture, I think. I think then people go, actually, yeah, you know what? Like, it's quite a difficult fixture now. Like, he just all of a sudden improves them overnight. Because you could very easily see that happening with somebody like Jose Mourinho coming in. That is my concern with, of course, them playing them in game week 5, is if Potter gets battered today, loses his job, which you very easily could see happening, and then they bring in Mourinho, I think then the West Ham team automatically becomes better. Like, Mourinho knows what he's doing. He just does. Palmer to Bruno or any other better options? Yeah, we'll talk through the options. Let's talk through the midfield options. So these are the predicted points over the next 5 game weeks. Obviously, I think if you've got Palmer and Saka, maybe the sensible move might be to obviously bring in a cheaper and then upgrade to potentially Salah. I get that. I don't mind that as a move. Bruno obviously then up there as well with the great fixture this week, the potential captaincy as well. Also a pretty solid suggestion. Anton Semenyo, I get. That's the move that I've gone for. Obviously really fancied here. Gakpo, I would be a little bit hesitant on at the moment, just given the situation around Isak and what that then means for each player's minutes. I'd be a little bit uncertain. Again, Cunha and Mbeumo, good fixtures this week. Longer term, I do suggest, are they going to be good picks though? Harvey Barnes as well, good fixture for the next 2, but long term, how long could you realistically hold him? Dango, I like at 6 million. I also like Damsgaard at 5.9. Again, though, it is just trying to find who's probably going to be the talisman for that Brentford side this season. Who's going to be that guy that can step up and take their game to the next level? Then, of course, as you can see here, we've got Saar, I don't mind. Anderson, if you really, really want to drop it down and maybe try and free up some money for Haaland. Again, don't mind it. Tielemans, as someone who is a Tielemans owner, probably wouldn't recommend picking him up. Looks like they might get Asensio, so might lose his entire penalty appeal, which, of course, devalues him as an asset. I think Rice could be an interesting option as well at 6.5. I know Rodgers has been disappointing, but the Villa fixtures still are there, and if you back them to be a better side, could also be a decent option. And Mohamed Kudus as well. For me, the reason that I was put off with Kudus and any Spurs midfielder was the introduction of Xavi Simons. He will be taking a lot of free kicks, a lot of corners for that side. And if he looks good over the next few, he might be like the go-to guy. And I don't want to invest in early into Kudus and go, I wish I'd have got Xavi Simons. I wish I'd have sat on my hands a little bit and just waited. So, yeah, that is kind of where my head is at. There's some of the best options, I think, this week that people can, of course, look for in terms of their Palmer replacements. Who's on pens for Brentford? Great question. It is Igor Thiago at the moment. But again, that can all change. Transferred in Brennan Johnson for Palmer, kind of regretting it. Not sure if he can keep up the scoring streak. Yeah, I think the stat might be like he's had 2 shots and both of them have gone in. So, yeah, but he did this last season. He does have that clinical edge, I would say, to his game. So I don't mind it. I think he still is a pretty good pick. How comes I'm playing Verbergen? I mean, my choices are Dubravka or Verbergen. So, yeah, it's kind of one of those where I've backed the home team. They've got slightly higher percentage chance of a clean sheet this week. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of those. Yeah, again, I want to see what Xavi Simons is like before, of course, I hop onto this move. Like, I don't think there's any point in me, of course, maybe, like, going and then he's not, like, the right guy, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's kind of where my head is at, and that's kind of where I sit at the moment, to be honest. So, yeah. Going to get Saar for game week 4. Yeah, I think he could be a great option for game week 4, of course. Of course he could. He could be a terrific option for game week 4. Hey mate, already gone Palmer to Anderson, so have 5 million to spend. Would you upgrade Gui this week to bench Wirtz or chill, have the extra info post? I think I maybe would chill. If you're confident with how your side is lining up, I think you could just very easily sit on your hands. I really, really do. Of course, if you are enjoying today's stream, guys, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. Like I said, we're trying to hit 17.5k subscribers. It'd be absolutely amazing, of course, if we could hit that milestone today. And if you are already existing subscriber, make sure you are you're hitting that like button. It's appreciated. See if we can get to 50 likes. Thank you very much for the donation. I can't pronounce your name, Kasim. I'm not even going to attempt and butcher it, but thank you very much for the donation, man. Really, really appreciate that. If there was meant to be a question there, feel free to just ask and I will answer it straight away. But yeah, man, thank you very much for the... yeah, if you want to get your team evaluated, we can do those, mate. We do those on Twitter. All right, so if you want to send me those on Twitter, we're doing a big batch of them at 8 o'clock, all right? Big batch of them at 8 o'clock. All right? Sweet. Who am I going to bench if I brought João Pedro and Mateta in? It probably would be Anderson. Like, he's got the worst fixture out of the defenders there. So, yeah, he would be the one that I would bench for João Pedro or Mateta. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that one. Thoughts on Ekitike for Watkins? Wouldn't go near Ekitike at the moment. If Liverpool sign Isak, Ekitike is a non-runner in my opinion. Yeah. So, I'm just kind of waiting for some more information on that one because that transfer looks like it could escalate, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going near Ekitike. I don't want to do that. When do I send it in on Twitter? Now, get it sent in now, and there's probably the best way of going for it. Why did your old account get banned? I don't remember. Like, if you want to put what your original name was, because I remember most of the mods, but yeah. We'll have a look. Who should I captain if João Pedro, Haaland, Kudus? I think if I had Haaland, I would give him the armband for this week. He would be my number one and like top option. Alright, man, whack yourself. If you go in the Discord and chat to the guys, like I'll see. Palmer to Saar, Gui to Wood, Bruno as my captain. I'm taking a huge risk. I don't think you're taking a huge risk. I think they're pretty template from what I've seen in this chat. I think they're pretty standardised moves, to be honest. Which midfielder should I go for in my free hit? I have Cunha, Alanga, and Doi and Dango. Cunha, probably. Oh, they're all good. And Doy's probably the one that I don't think I would start out of all of those. I think the rest are really, really good. Fair, mate. Fair. What is my rank right now? God awful. Like, it's genuinely terrible. It's genuinely terrible. All right. When Andy and that pop back into the stream, then yeah, I'll chat to them. I'll chat to them. If you're a sound guy, we'll make you a mod again. All right. I didn't make the Palmer move yesterday, thinking his price wouldn't fall. Got any motivation for me? Don't worry about it too much. Like, I know it's a bit of a ball kicker. For me, it was like a 0.2 swing. Obviously, Semedo went up, so I've gained on that, but I won't worry about it too much. Like, players, especially this early part of the season, go up, go down so quickly. Like, Watkins went down, but the fixtures are still that good that you do think if he just puts a couple goals in, you're looking at it going, yeah, he's quite actually good, isn't he, that guy? Yeah. Watkins, Wood, or João Pedro for captain for this week. I would be tempted with either João Pedro or Wood. I just think you can't trust Watkins at the moment. The form is just not there, is it? It's not good. It is not good. It ain't quite it. It ain't quite it. Let's just put it that way. It ain't quite it. Is 8 Nuri available? According to Pep, yes he is. Yeah, that's what Pep said yesterday. 8 Nuri is available. So yeah, very much available and an option. If, of course, you do want to go down that route. There is always that possibility that you can go and get him. So yeah. Captain Wood or Bruno? I would prefer to captain Bruno, I think. Yeah. What do you think about putting Eze in? I want to wait and see what his role is at Arsenal. I really, really do. Would he start? I mean, it's Pep, so I can't really give you like 100% confidence that he's definitely going to start. But I think he could be a decent option. Like I said, guys, we will be doing team reviews at 8 o'clock. Head to my Twitter and get your team sent in. Let me bring up the tweet. This tweet right here, right, is the one you want to come to. So the one that says team ratings here. Get yourself on this one. Get, obviously, your team under here. Make sure you follow me on Twitter as well, so it definitely pulls through. All right? So this is obviously my team for the upcoming game week then. This is what it's done in Fantasy Football Hub. It's given it a 95% AI team rating if I bring in João Pedro. If I were to bring in Mateta and we make the transfers, optimize team, it'd give it a 96. So the AI is a lot more hyped about that move than, of course, the João Pedro move. But that's kind of where I'm at. Is, do I go João Pedro or do I go Mateta? Cheers, Jamie. I don't remember him being a mod either. So, yeah. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. No one could guess the Man City lineup. Yeah, trying to guess the Man City lineup is just a pain in the arse. You just send it on the reply. Just send it on the reply, mate. Don't send it on the DMs. Just send it on the reply. All right. But yeah, this is kind of where my head's at. Do we go Mateta or do we go to João Pedro? That is the big question. The AI has also selected Dubravka here. I don't know if that's maybe the right choice. I guess it's a 50-50 split. It really, really is a 50-50 split. And I don't like rotating goalkeepers. But yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys think. Do I go João Pedro or do I go Mateta? Haaland currently winning the vote for captaincy as well. I do think he is the best captain for game week 3. But yeah, let's get a poll. Let's get a poll going. All right, we'll end that poll. So Haaland's the best cap, and let's have a. Who do I transfer? So we've got Mateta. We have got Pedro. And then I'm going to put nobody. All right, there we go. There are your votes. There are your votes. Let me know which way you would potentially go with that. Would you bring in Mateta? Would you bring in Pedro? Or would you bring in nobody? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to find out. Do keep the questions coming in. Keep the likes coming in for today's stream as well. Let's see if we can try and hit the 50 like threshold nice and early. Jamie saying Mateta easy. Oh. Polls looking like Pedro's probably going to lead the way. 54%, 59%, 61%. Jeez. Mateta if you try to be ahead, and João Pedro if you want to correct a mistake. Mateta for me, yeah. It is one of those, isn't it, where maybe I'm trying to get ahead of the curve by bringing in Mateta. And maybe like next week, like I said, I'm going to be rewarded with that Sunderland at home fixture. Or maybe is it one of them where João Pedro is just still going to be a steady Eddie across the board, across the opening few weeks. And maybe he's just going to punish me. Yeah, what is Mateta's like long-term fixtures? Because like I said, it will be probably game week 7. Obviously, we're free hitting in 6. Game week 7 is probably the last week he maybe plays for me. Game week 8 potentially as well. Then I reckon around this point we maybe look to transfer him out. We could just have him for this period of Villa, Sunderland, West Ham, Everton. Then obviously try and like rejig our team where we'll probably be Verts down and we could try and maybe get Gokares in that period. So, yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. That's kind of where I'm at. Looking at the poll, it's kind of evened out a little bit. 51%, 38% for Mateta. Alanga could be a good buy. The fixtures are there. I get it. The fixtures are there. People saying Mateta looks rubbish. Jamie's not sold on João Pedro either. It's just a toughie, man. It is a really, really toughie. 40% now for Mateta. It's quite swingy. It very, very seems like a swingy decision this game week, and I'm not really too sure which way to potentially go with it. I do think it is going to be one for the coin. We're going to see what the coin says, because I'm a little bit stuck right now. I really am. I can't lie to you guys. I'm very, very stuck. Of course, if you've got any other split 50-50 dilemmas, you want the coin to help you out, the coin to answer, it is here as well. Kudus or Saw? I think I'd prefer Saw this week as a pickup. Palmer to Gibbs White, bit of fun. I think it's just a future transfer waiting to happen. Yeah, Mateta would be just to scoop up the good Palace fixtures, and then it would be to probably save transfers over the next few weeks and see what the Isak situation is. See then, obviously, Gokares in like 6-7 is where I'd want to obviously pick him up. So, yeah, that's kind of where my head is at with the Mateta move. Is we make it, and then again, we sit on our hands, really, don't we? We sit on our hands. We sit on our hands a little bit. Because realistically, right, the team's good for 4. That's how we'd play there. Obviously, we'd bring in Anderson probably ahead of Murillo. We'd be very, very easy to roll. Game week 5. Again, I'm looking at the team. Anderson comes in for Tarkowski. Roll. Game week 6, we're free hitting. Then game week 7, this is what we come back out to. And I think we'd have like 4? Is that 4 transfers, right? So at that point, we probably would be looking at bringing in a... Obviously, their run's finished good. Tarkowski could still remain within the side just because he's a bit of a DEFCON monster. But we'd have 4 free transfers. And obviously, Mateta up. Wirtz would obviously probably go at this point. Tielemans would probably go, and maybe Murillo down to somebody. So we'd be looking at 4 transfers, and we'd have to obviously like redistribute the money. So what would we do with... I mean, we could probably leave Mateta for even this week. Like, Everton away is not bad. It's not bad, but I think then obviously we'd probably maybe look who's got the best fixtures during this period. Who is it suggesting? I probably would want Gabriel. Actually, yeah, I probably would actually try and find money to get Gabriel. So we'd obviously have to free up some money, but Wirtz would probably go down. And then obviously we'd shift maybe probably Bruno after that week. I don't know. I think obviously try and build as many transfers into that period so we can make a little bit of like wholesale changes. So I don't mind the Mateta move. I really, really don't mind it. It does give me a lot to obviously to think about. Yeah, and if I'm free hitting in 6, like Mateta is a very, very good option. Like I miss his most difficult fixture against Liverpool, right? So yeah, let me know in the chat, let me know on the vote, which way would you go? Would you go Pedro or would you go Mateta? Or would you just sit on your hands and go for nobody? Let me know in the chat. I'm always, of course, open to any suggestions. We're closing in on 50 likes, by the way, on today's stream. We need 6 more. So if you do want to help the channel out, hit that like button. It is appreciated as always. Vincent says he's watching from Kenya. I saw that Kenya is one of the most popular places that people are playing FPL at the moment. So, yeah. Chasing Halls is probably not the way, is it, Jamie? But at the same time, is he just that good a pick? Abby says she'd go Mateta as well. Yeah. When am I using the wild card? Probably not till like game week 13. Like I'm trying to delay it for as long as possible. I'm really trying to delay it. But yeah, I think this is where I would sit realistically. And obviously I do like the look of this team. Like it just does look like a very, very good team. Ballard on my bench, nice. Yeah, I really, really don't understand the Ballard transfer that people that went for it. I don't understand why people had a 4.5 million one in it either. Trust me for once. I am trusting you. Mate. I know you're a very good person at this game. The model really, really likes Mateta as well. Like, I think it's like a lot of people get a little bit funny when you talk about like models and stuff, but they're there to help you. That's what they're there for. Like, they shouldn't guide your whole decision making, but they should definitely help. Like, if you're like for example, this is a 50-50, it is giving me the answer to my 50-50 in a way. Yeah, Strand Larson won't play this week in my opinion. Like, he's not in the hotel, so yeah. Yeah, Watkins needs to score realistically this week. Watkins scoring would definitely help the situation out. That is a good point. If we're free hitting in 6, again, that's probably one of Chelsea's best fixtures. We'd probably go and pick up Palmer and Haaland anyway. And I could probably maybe scoop up João Pedro during that period. You think the extra games will influence Palace? I do think they could be a bit leggy. After this round. But the Conference League doesn't start till the 7th of October. Someone pointed this out in the stream yesterday. I thought it started around the same time as the Champions League. But because they've only got 6 game weeks, they are starting it later. Doesn't start till October. So we can get this where Palace have got the break. Hasn't been called up for international duty either. So we've not got to worry about Mateta picking up an injury with an international side either. It would just be one of those where he is just picking up an injury for the sake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be a training injury. So, yeah. I would prefer Elanga ahead of Barnes. I think he's probably the better midfield pick. I have an option. Palmer to Cunha, then Rodgers to Semenyo. Or Palmer to Semenyo and Gui to Wood or Mateta. I think I prefer the Gui to Wood one. I think I'd stick by Rodgers. And I'd stick by my Villa assets. Like, the fixtures coming up are just good. They are just very, very good. Oh, very nice. Very nice, Jamie. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, mate. I think, like, the players you've got there... Like, if you lose... Like, losing value at this early part of the season is not the end of the world, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it might help to, of course, get a few price rises in your side. Great. But it's not going to be the be-all and end-all, in my opinion. I mean, if we are to go for Mateta, it does mean I do go Bruno captain this week. Just saying. Just saying. Wood or Mateta? I think if you're free hitting in 6, probably Mateta looks like the better option. Just because you get rid of his bad fixture and you pick up Sunderland and West Ham anyway. I'm seeing a lot of people with Wood captain. Yeah, we did a poll earlier and a lot of people were looking at Chris Wood. They really, really were looking at Chris Wood. There you go. Like, you're going to have some players that do well, some players that don't do well. And I think as long as the player's not a minutes risk, they then shouldn't realistically be a player I would be looking to take out. That, like, if they've got good fixtures, they're not minutes risks, then just keep them. You know what I mean? Like, I think probably my biggest minutes risk player at the moment is Wirtz. And he's coming off in, like, the 80th minute. So it's just one of those, isn't it, really, where it's like, yeah, I don't think he's probably the biggest risk in the world. Right, guys, thank you very much for 50 likes on today's stream already. You guys are absolute legends, as always. A lot of time, a lot of support for you guys. Do keep the questions coming in. Keep the subscriptions coming in as well. Let's go ahead and do, obviously, the Who Am I game for this week. And then we'll obviously build up to some team reviews at 8 o'clock. These are, of course, the 2 players for this week. I've gone pretty hard here. I've gone pretty hard. So, yeah, let me know in the chat. Who are these 2 players? Who are these 2 players? Let me know in the chat. All right? I'm just going to have a quick drink. I'll show my team in a second. I will show my team in a second. But yeah, let me know in the chat who are these 2 players. Thank you very much for the donation, Luca. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Of course, if you want to ask me any questions, mate, get them in the chat. I think people are having a good old think about this one. It is not an easy game I've given you this week. Yeah, people are struggling with this one. They're having to do a little bit. I think someone's got the top one. Someone has got the top one. It's just if anybody can get that bottom one. I can give you a little bit more time if you need some. But yeah. We'll give you a little bit more time on those ones. They're difficult. They are difficult this week. I've tried to trip you up a little bit with these. But yeah, we'll come back to them. We'll come back to them a little bit. We'll see if anybody can get them. But yeah, let's head back to my team. This is currently where the team is. For someone who was asking earlier, this is where the team is. The transfer is realistically Pedro or Mateta. Like that's what we're decided now. Do we go Pedro or do we go Mateta? It's currently 52% to Pedro. Mateta's at 36. Nobody's at 12. Is Semenyo a good option? Great option. Triple captain Onana for Keith. I get it, man. I get it. I would 100% be on the same strategy. Was planning for Kudus. Might go for Saar now. I think I probably would go at Saar ahead of Kudus right now. That's where I would lean anyway. I think Keith was joking. I do think Keith was joking. I don't think Keith was being for real with his triple captain. I think he was just taking the piss a little bit in the chat. I think he was just taking the piss. That's it. The second player was wrong there, mate. Yeah, that wasn't the one. Van Arnold was the top one. Patrick Van Arnold is the top one. He was the top one, yeah. Vernon Anita. Boom, there we go. Vernon Anita. Someone has got it. It was Vernon Anita, yes. Like I said, guys, we're going to do team reviews at 8 o'clock, so make sure you're getting those sent in to me, and we'll get them done. Yeah, I think Xavi Simons, they're going to play like a 4-3-3, and Simons will probably play in the 10. I think Brennan Johnson could be maybe a benefactor of it. Who's Vernon Anita? Bro, Vernon Anita, you've got to know. Streets won't forget. Streets won't forget Vernon Anita, man. Streets will not forget Vernon Anita. Do keep the likes coming in on today's stream, guys. Massively appreciated, as always. But yeah, if you like above average, they were... Baker did a video last night on Patreon talking about the role that Xavi Simons is going to play, and obviously like the impact that he's going to have and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd still feel pretty confident on it. I still feel pretty confident on it. Cunha captain, yay or nay? I do think like it's not a bad option really. I do think it's not a bad option if you want to go for it. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. I agree. Like, I'm not going to make someone a mod just because they're like, yeah, I'm a mod. I was like, what's your old username then? Because I pretty much know every mod on the channel. Like, they're either in the Discord or, like, I know them by, like, names and stuff. I was like, give me a name. Didn't have a name for us. So I was like, yeah, you ain't modding, are you? But yeah, Streets will not forget Vernon Anita. I threw you off this week. Am I crazy for going triple captain Chris Wood? I get it. Man, I do get it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it if you want to go for it. Is it okay to free hit this week? Perfectly acceptable. Whatever week you want to go for that fits your strategy. Yeah, people might say no, but hey ho, if it fits what you want to do, go for it. Palmer and Saka for Dango and Grealish. Palmer and Saka for Dango and Grealish/Semenyo. Yeah, I think they're all pretty good options. I think if you've got both Palmer and Salah, there might be a way to, Saka, sorry, there might be a way for you to potentially look at going and getting Salah in, who will be the best captaincy option for the next 2 weeks. So it does give you that maybe a little bit more longer term. Triple Man United on a free hit, Dorgu or Mbeumo. I think I'll probably go Mbeumo. Van Dijk or Van de Ven for this week. Got to start both off a wild card. I probably would lean maybe towards to Van de Ven. Thoughts on free hit 4? Don't mind it if you've not got obviously Salah or any of the Liverpool boys. Triple up on them. There's other good fixtures as well to, of course, target. Probably looking at a triple Palace as well. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I've been there since before you made the first mods, and you made me one because they weren't there during the next stream, and I joked about them. There we go. There we go. Like, I know you're an OG, Jamie. That's why you got the mod. Kudus or Barnes? I think I prefer Kudus, a more longer-term pick. Wood or Bruno for captain? I genuinely think if I had the opportunity to go and get Chris Wood, I think I'd maybe give him the armband, you know. I would. I have Watkins, Bowen and Wood in front. Mid, Salah, Palmer, Reinders and Dye, Ismail Assar. Should I replace Palmer with whom? Probably maybe Semenyo then. Like, would probably be the top pick for me out of all of those lot. Or maybe a Spurs midfielder. Sanchez or Sells? I would probably play Sells this week. I think he's probably got the better fixture. Palmer to Semenyo, then Strand Larson to Growers. Who is Growers? If someone's tried to trip me up again by getting me to say things, then yeah, well done. Alanga or Barnes or Kudus and Johnson? I would prefer Kudus and I prefer Alanga ahead of the other two options. And then I guess you've got a 50-50 split there. Should I take a -4? Sell Palmer, Gui and Bowen by Alanga, Pedro and Wood. Don't mind that as a -4. I don't mind it as a -4. I really, really don't. What about Nottingham Forest defence? Double up on a free hit? Yeah, I think I probably would. I'd have like Sells and Murillo or Sells and Milenkovic. I think I would. Yeah, they would be my top two like standout picks. Got Saw and Wood in. Nice, pretty decent options. Need 5 million mid. Wanted Pepe Sarr, but should I be worried about his minutes? Yes, I would be worried about his minutes now that they've signed Xavi Simons. I think probably outside of that, maybe Xhaka, like you know he's going to play. Dewsbury Hall, they're probably your picks right now. Anybody else, probably not going to be worth it in my opinion. So yeah, that is where I'd sit on that one. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything that you do have ahead of the deadline, please do let me know. We'll try and answer as many questions as we possibly can, of course, leading up to the deadline. We're going to be doing team reviews in about 10 minutes as well. So we will try to answer as many of your guys' questions there as possible. Gokares, right. I get you. Gokares. Would I do that? Yeah, I probably would. I probably would do that move, to be fair. I don't mind that. That's a pretty steady move. Kudus or Semenyo and Wood or Mateta. I would have Semenyo and I probably, if I'm not free hitting in 6, Wood. If I am, Mateta. Mateta a much better pick. Yeah, Pedro like flew out early doors on the poll. Now he's down to 50%. 38% for Mateta, 12% saying just sit on my hands. Is Simons an option for game week 4? We need to see him play first. That's for the thing I would say. We need to see him play first. I still think a lot of the Palace players will still play very good minutes. They've got an international break after this, so I still think they will. I think they will. I think they'll be fine. I think Burnley will beat United. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I do think United are probably in that period where they could realistically beat United. Like, United are going to go either one of two ways, right? They're going to win comfortably, and everyone's going to be like, they're back. We are back. That could be one way. Or it could realistically be another way where we go, right, yeah, we lost to Burnley, we just lost to Grimsby, the confidence for Amran is low, let's get him out. It's genuinely going to go one of two ways for United this weekend, for me personally. I don't see it going any other way, really. So yeah, that's where I sit on that situation. Anderson or Gibbs-White, is money versus the potential preference after the international break? I don't really think I would pick up Gibbs-White. I just think they've signed a lot of midfielders, and I do worry about his long-term minutes with obviously European football coming up. I do worry about that. Bench Saw or Ndai. I have Watkins. I think Saw's got a pretty good record against Villa, so probably would be more leaning towards Ndai, but Wolves is a great fixture. It is a great fixture. Brooks or KDH to start. I would probably go Kieran Dewsbury Hall. I think the Buonanotte loan signing means we know Palmer is more injured than they're letting on. And if that is the case, though, if we do think Palmer is maybe more injured, does that maybe lean back into the factor of João Pedro being the better option? I'm just trying to put it out there, guys. I'm just trying to give both narratives to both sides. I'm just trying to give a bit of narrative to both sides. All right. Am I concerned about Wirtz and Watkins? Yeah, of course I am. They're not returning, so they're going to be problem players. But for right now, their minutes are good. Their minutes are very, very good. They've got some good fixtures coming up, so they don't feel like immediate sells. That's where I sit on those two right now. Who should I replace Palmer with? We went through some of the top options for this week. Obviously, Bruno, Semenyo, Sarr, Kudus, probably going to be where you're realistically picking from this week, I would say. Anderson or Richards to start, both good for DEFCON. Oh, yeah. I probably would say Richards has the slightly higher percentage chance of clean sheet, so I probably would lean more towards Richards for this week. But yeah, both great DEFCON merchants. Watkins is probably going to remain within the side for, I would probably say, up until 7. Like, I know it's crazy to say that, but I do think he's probably going to remain within the side until 7, unless they go out and maybe buy like a forward before the deadline. I do just think he's probably going to stay. I mean, you can probably tell which way I would say I've picked. Like, with the player that I've picked as my Palmer replacement, yeah. Fair enough, Jamie. Fair enough. I understand your argument. I am still thinking about João Pedro. I still am thinking about it. It just can't escape my mind. It really, really can't. Yeah. It can't escape my mind. Do we go Mateta or do we go João Pedro? This is where we're at, I guess. This is where we're at. Mateta or João Pedro. I never thought I'd see the day. Thank you very much for the donation. Lewis, he says, amazing vids. Done Palmer to Gibbs White. Bit of differential. Thank you very much for the donation, man. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you very much, man. And I get the differential aspect. I do get it. And there are some good fixtures in there. And if he does pop off, could be a good option. Damsgaard a good option. I was looking at Damsgaard as a potential option at 5.9. I don't mind it, you know. He's going to be obviously on all the corners. That Brentford side are definitely going to be playing for a lot more corners this year with who they've got as manager. And you think as well, like, they do need that guy to step up and be the talisman. And it could be Damsgaard. It could realistically be him. We've gone for Semenyo over Sarr. The reason I've done it is I just fancy Semenyo a little bit more. So, yeah. We've already made that move, so there won't be any Sarr inclusion for now. Would you start Dewsbury Hall or Bowen? I'd still maybe be tempted to go Bowen ahead of Dewsbury Hall. Who did you pick up as your replacement? Semenyo. He was my replacement. Benching dilemma. Elliot Anderson or Gyökeres? I would bench... Ooh... I just feel like you can't bench Gyökeres, but the floor is so much higher for Elliot Anderson. Is there anybody else you could potentially bench on that one? Because that is a toughie. That is a real toughie. I did Palmer to Anderson to free up funds. I don't mind that. I think that's a pretty sensible move across the board. When am I wildcarding? Probably like game week 13. Yeah, game week 13. Would you rather go without Chelsea attacking coverage, without Palace attacking coverage? Yeah, I guess that's the factor I've got to go for, really, isn't it? Do I want Chelsea or do I want Palace? Like, what team would I rather have coverage of? And I think it would be I'd rather get a goal share of Chelsea, but then the fixtures for Palace are good. It's a toughie. It is a toughie. It is very much a toughie for this week. Why not Wood instead of Pedro? I'm free hitting in 6, so I would only get 2 of Chris Wood's best fixtures, and then I'd probably pick him up anyway on the free hit. So yeah. Benny, I think if you're going to captain Bruno, then go with Bruno. If you're not going to captain Bruno, then maybe look at Semenyo. Is Haaland the better longer-term asset than Salah? It's hard to say, isn't it? Like, Salah over the next few is going to be the top captain for the next 2 weeks. He just is. But there's so much still up in the air. Is this my final team? No, we're still deciding who to bring in for the striker position. Who to captain? Cunha, Pedro, Wood. I think maybe back that United fixture. Yeah, I think that's a great point as well. The goal share will be more spread between Chelsea. It just will. Palace, it is realistically going to be Mateta or Sarr, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is going to just be Palace or Mateta or Sarr realistically for those goals, isn't it? Van de Ven or Porro to start? I'd go Porro, you get the set pieces. Thoughts on Barnes? I think he could be a bit of a problem longer term. That's probably where my head would lie with that one. Like I said, a little bit more of a problem. What do you think of this defence and a wildcard looker? Ped Porro, Tosin, Senesi and Rodon? Tosin, I'm unsure of. Pedro Porro might lose out on set pieces. So, yeah. Oh, and of course Munoz. Of course Munoz as well. Mateta is on pens. Yep, he is the penalty taker. So we would be getting another penalty taker within the side. I don't mind that. I honestly don't mind picking up another penalty taker. Yeah, it is one of those where... lot to think about. By the way, guys, we're extremely close to 100 likes. And we're just about to start doing team ratings. So if you do, of course, like the channel or like the content that you see on the channel... please be sure to hit that like button. Let's see if we can try and get this stream up to 100 likes. And yeah, we're about to start doing some team reviews. So thank you for everybody who has sent their team in. Let's go and start reviewing them. Let's have a look what we've been sent in for this week. Let's have a look. I think, yeah, that's going to be the first one. So, Thomas Boyle, thank you very much for sending your team in. He says, wildcard team probably will make some changes, though. Fair enough. Ooh, is there anybody that I massively dislike over here? Juve, yeah, I wouldn't go near West Ham at the moment. Get Juve out. He's probably the one that would have to go for me, personally. Everybody else, I kind of like. I kind of like this team. So, yeah, Juve probably the one. I would replace him just with, like, a Defcon Beast. Maybe like a Senesi or... who else is there really? Who else have you got? I guess you've already got Anderson. So yeah, I'd just replace Juve. I'd just get a Defcon Beast in there. That's the way that I'd go with that one. Having benching decision problems and looking at taking a -4 next week to Cunha, Gakpo, Watkins, Mateta and Guija, Pedro. Do you really need to make that many moves? Like, is it really necessary? Like, I don't know if Gakpo's still going to be an option in a few weeks. So, I think maybe just the -4 might not happen. So, yeah, I would be a little bit worried about that longer term. Thinking Palmer to Semenyo and Saka to Saar to save the wild card. I like both of those moves. I understand them both. I get it. You've already got Salah in there as well. Yeah, I like it. I like it. FPL Abby, this is my team. I think I'm locked in. Only decision to make is whether to stick Saar captaincy. It is a big call, Abby, and if you want to go on the coin, I get it. It is there. But yeah, it is a big decision. Obviously, Bruno probably looking like the other captaincy option. But yeah, I like it. I like it. Dunsaw and Wood in for Kuprig and Palmer. Good moves. Strand Larson, have you got a bit of bench cover? Yeah, Anderson can drop in with some Defcon, so I don't mind that. Transfer Palmer to Saar. 3.9 million in the bank now. Yeah, you've got a nice little kitty there to work with, haven't you, really? Yeah, I think, yeah, you could very easily just stick with that team for the next few and see who emerges. Maybe, obviously, Gokrez. Maybe if Isak gets that move, then, yeah, you've got yourself open, really. 91 points with my bench boost gone and 30 points stinker in game week 2. This is my current XI. What would you do if you were me? Good question. Solanke's got to go. Like, yeah, got to go. Maybe try and move to João Pedro or Mateta, the options that I'm, of course, looking at. So, yeah, that is probably where I would do it. What other moves would I do? I don't know how many transfers you've got in hand, but everybody else seems... I think you could probably get away with just making one this week. So, yeah. By the way, that guy's spamming in the chat. Someone whack him on mute. Get him out of here. One of the mods wants to bin him off. That would be appreciated. Because I'm all for people asking me questions, but guys, come on. Don't spam. Don't spam in the chat. Like, you know what I mean? Let me just get him on mute. If you want to send your teams in to me, put him on a 5-minute timeout. There we go. Yeah, if you want to send your teams, come to my Twitter, drop it under one of my most recent tweets, and that is the place to do it. But yeah, please don't spam. Don't spam in the chat, all right? Chewy FPL says Sol Palmer and Krupig to Barnes and Wood and Gavin Wood the armband. Wow. That is some big balls plays, but man, if it works, like, fair play, man. Fair play. I do just think Barnes might be a potential transfer out in a few more weeks. But, man, if it works, it works. And I'm all for it. Please help. Oh, okay, Mateta and Saka and Palmer. Okay, jeez. Oh, okay. I don't know how many transfers you've got. If it's 2, then I probably would say Saka and Palmer out. Go and get Saar and maybe Semenyo. Maybe... Yeah, those probably would be the ones. Saar and Semenyo. Play both of those guys. Paqueta looks like he could leave as well. This is probably close to a wild card, I would say. Because Paqueta could leave. Saka, Fulham. Jorginho, Rutter. Nah. Close to a wild card, I would say. Nearly there. I would not blame you if you wanted to hit that wildcard button on that one. Yeah, if you wanted to hit the wildcard button, I get it. I do get it. What do you think of my team? What should I be worried about? Gakpo long term. Gordon suspension's like 3 weeks, is it not? Palmer injury. Yeah. Konza doesn't get DEFCON. Dorgu, United look poo defensively. They're just some of the things I would be worried about. Can you please give me a Palmer and Gui replacement? Palmer, obviously we spoke about. Semenyo, Saar, probably going to be the top options for me this week. You obviously could just go to Bruno or Cunha or Mbuemo if you wanted to take on that United fixture. Mark Gui replacements, you've obviously got João Pedro, so Mateta or probably can't go Wood because you've already got it, so probably, yeah, Mateta then. Or you could maybe find the money to go up to Gokeres if you really drop Palmer down. So yeah, that's probably where I would look there. Let's have a look at this next one. Finally, a good start to the season. Just wondering, what do you think of taking the odd hit every now and again, and the upside can work out in the end? I know some content creators are completely against hits. Last season was definitely up for hits, and I think, again, there might be scope to take hits this season, but I think with the current climate and the amount of chips we have available to us, it has lessened the impact of that. Well, it's increased the impact, should I say, of taking those hits, in my opinion. I think just with the amount of chips, like, it's just, yeah, one of those. Thinking of Gui out for Ekitike and Bruno and Gakpo for Saar. I would not probably go near either Gakpo or Ekitike right now. If Isak joins, completely changes that Liverpool landscape. And I personally, for me, would not want to go near that, in my opinion. Of course, if you are enjoying today's video, guys, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Like I said, we're trying to hit 17.5k by the end of the weekend. It'd be absolutely amazing if we could, of course, achieve that goal. So do keep hitting that subscribe button. Keep hitting the like button as well. It pushes out to more people. And that, again, is just going to help us out with today's stream. Wildcarded this week. Thoughts on this team? XTK, obviously, I've just spoke about there. And Doi, longer term, I do worry about. Calafiori as well. There's a few, I think, maybe asterisk picks in there that I maybe would look at for other ones. Those are all the teams we've been sent in so far. So thank you very much for everybody that has sent some in. We'll do some more. Maybe at past, I'll check again. Of course, if you want to have a few more, we'll take a look. Someone said, can you do a captaincy poll? Yeah, we did one already. We'll do another one. Thank you for everybody getting your votes in. People are saying Pedro ahead of Mateta. Some people saying just go for nobody. All right, okay. Might be one for the coin in a little bit. Let's do a captaincy poll again. All right. Best captain for game week 3. Oh, I'm just typing. I've not done the poll. Hang on. Start poll. Best cap. Game week 3. So we've got Bruno, Salah, who's the other option? Bruno, Salah, Haaland, who won the last one. And let's put Wood in there. There you go, Wood's in there now. Yeah, get your votes in for that, guys, then. Let me know which way you would be swinging with your captaincy for this week. I know a lot of people were, of course, looking at Chris Wood. Get your votes in. Let me know in the chat which way you would potentially go with that one. Opinions on Ndai? I probably would leave him if I had him for a little bit longer. Is Morgan Gibbs-White a bad option? I don't think he's a bad option. I just think he might cause a few headaches further down the line. People are saying Pedro captain. Yeah, he was on the last one, but didn't get that many votes. A lot of people went for Chris Wood, so I wanted to see where Chris Wood ranked in terms of his numbers this week. He could be a player that a lot of us, could be fearful of this week. Yeah, I agree, Chewy. I 100% agree. If you've got Haaland, he's probably going to be the best captaincy this week, right? 100%. Cash or Richards? Ooh, maybe Richards. But Cash has been hitting DEFCON as well, hasn't he? Oh, yeah. Would playing West Ham so guaranteed goals? I mean, West Ham surely can't be any worse. Like, surely the goalkeeper they have, like old chocolate wrists, has got to go. Like, surely Areola's back in for this week. That goalkeeper honked. Is Bruno a good option for Palmer replacement? Yeah, if you're going to captain Bruno, I think, yeah, 100%. Thoughts on a triple captain Wood? If you we're not going to have any double game weeks at the start, so if you fancy it, I don't hate it. If your gut's like, yep, this is the move for me, then I don't hate it. Yeah, I get it, but I guess some people are free hitting in game week 6, so it kind of navigates that bad fixture anyway. If that makes sense. Anderson or Damsgaard? I think Anderson could just be the steady Eddie that ticks along very, very nicely. Damsgaard is very much going to be reliant on like set pieces and stuff like that. So yeah, that's probably where I would sit with that one. Captain Wood ahead of Bruno this week. Ooh. A lot of people are looking at it. Looking at the poll here. Chris Wood is actually leading the vote. Mad. Mad. Like I said, if you want to send me a team, send it on Twitter. Alright? Send it on Twitter. That's the place to go to for team reviews. Just whack them on my Twitter. And obviously we'll get round to them. Okay? Murillo or Milenkovic? I mean, both have been pretty shocking for DEFCON, so maybe Milenkovic just because he actually attacks corners and stuff like that. Do I think Aston Villa keep a clean sheet? I mean, I'm about to bring in maybe Mateta, so I've got to say no, haven't I? Yeah, I've got to say no. No, I think I'd probably play all of those forwards. I think I probably would play all those forwards. No, if you wanna send me a team on Twitter, just leave it under my most recent tweet. That's it. Just leave it under there. Abby says, let's do a coin flip for Saw or Bruno captaincy. And you know what, Abby? You're always in these streams, so I'm going to upgrade you to a mod as well. Alright. Add as a moderator. Boom. There you go. Thank you very much, Abby, for your continued support. And now you're a mod. So, happy days. Heads is going to be Saw. Tails is going to be Bruno, alright? It's heads. So, it's landed on Saw. There you go. There you go. If you don't have, if you don't have Twitter, just try and maybe just type it out, and I'll try and pick it up if I can see it in the chat. But as you can see, the chat does move quite quick. So like, I will try and just answer as many questions, and like trying to put your team in there just doesn't always, doesn't quite work all the time. Captaincy, Wood, Fernandez or Cunha. I think a lot of people are looking at Chris Wood. So yeah. Abby, you've got to stick with it now. You've got to stick with it. And Jamie's right. The Spanner Gang does run this town tonight. Was that Jay-Z and Rihanna? Was it Kanye and Rihanna? I can't remember. Might be Jay-Z, right? Semenyo for Palmer. Yeah, that's the move that I've done. That's the move that I've gone for. I've actually gained quite a bit of money out of that one as well. So, yeah. You can't free hit and triple captain in the same week. You can only play one chip at one time. So, there you go. Rodgers or Kudus? I mean, Rodgers has been very disappointing, as have Villa. But surely they can only get better, right? But it's whether or not you want to gamble on that. Or Kudus and Spurs, who have been good, I guess. Have I ever been to Africa? I have not ever been to Africa. No, I have not. I don't know if I'll ever will either. It's quite hard to get to from the UK, let's put it that way. Especially where I live up north, like there's not many... Like the biggest airport is Manchester, and most of the flights are just to like Europe. Like it doesn't really go there. What's my rank? I mean, if you want to know, it's like 8 million, but like at this point in the season, who cares? Like we've had 2 game weeks. I know I'll be like up there at the end of the season. And that's not even me being like cocky or arrogant. It's just me saying like, I know that things will only get better. So yeah. Can we see what the coin says for Saar versus Salah captain? Of course we can. If anybody else has got any other dilemmas that they want the coin to have a go at, we can of course have a go with this. Heads is going to be Saar. Tails is going to be Salah, okay? Tails. Yeah, we'll do some more team reviews at half past then. Yeah, we'll get some more done at half past, okay? So another round. Get your team sent to me on Twitter and we'll get them done at half past. Aura farming. It's definitely not going to happen now. I'm going to be like sat 4 million for the whole season, aren't I? I just brought in Saar, so this is interesting. Yeah, he just lost out on captaincy to Salah there, though. He did just lose out on captaincy to Salah. Wood or Pedro captain? I liked João Pedro captain, and if I was to bring him in, would give him the armband. But Chris Wood's currently leading our poll for captaincy, so yeah, make of that what you will. Of course, guys, if you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Like I said, we're trying to hit 17.5k subscribers. Of course, as well, make sure you're hitting that like button as well. Ola Aina or Nico Williams? Neither, if that's an option. Virgil and Sells or Milenkovic and Pickford for a wild card. Ooh. I think Sells could just be a steady Eddie in the goal, couldn't he, really? So I just don't find Pickford that good value. So I think I'd probably go Virgil and Sells. Because in a few game weeks' time, you can obviously make that move then from Virgil to Gabriel. Is this my team? We've got one transfer left and we're deciding to potentially go Cooperig to Mateta or João Pedro is where my head is at. Those are the transfers that I'm suggesting. The transfer I've already made is taking Palmer out and bringing Semenyo in. So yeah, there you go. Vicario or Sells? Ooh, Vicario might be a nice way to get into that Spurs defence. Yeah, I definitely think it's a possibility to go with Salah and Haaland. You've pretty much got captaincy locked every single week. And there are obviously, you know, a lot of the premiums dropping like flies at the moment. Palmer out, Saka out. So yeah, there you go. Forest signing. Oh yeah, I saw that. John, right? They're getting John. I think he's not going to go in as first choice. Surely not. Because it might be one of those where if you don't know the complexity between Botafogo, John Textor and Mr. Marinakis, then all of those, like I watched a video on it, they're all linked, if that makes sense. So like Mr. Marinakis has helped John Textor get Botafogo back, and in return they've also been buying Botafogo players. So it could be just one of those where it's like, yeah, we'll happily give you some more money, Mr. Texera. Could be one of those. Could be one of those. So, yeah. Think it's got to be João Pedro. Yeah. I mean, that is where we're at. I am unsure which way to potentially go on that one. How much money you got left in the bank? 3.3, I want to say. That 6'8" goalkeeper they had last year. Who is he? I don't remember him. Ozil for KDB for a -4. Yeah. Quid pro quo. Yeah, literally. Yeah. I do think he is like a good goalkeeper, though. He is a good goalkeeper. But, yeah, go and have a look at the some of the things that Botafogo, John Teixeira, and Mr. Marinakis have been up to. And then you'll probably start to see a trend. Like Turner going to Lyon, and then like Lyon trying to like legally not have that transfer go through. Like there's loads of stuff. Go and look for yourself. It's quite interesting. Yeah. Oh, the Greek guy. Yeah. Yeah, he was yeah, I remember him now actually, yeah. Wirtz for Semenyo or Gui for Mateta? I would go Gui for Mateta. Wirtz is about to play Burnley and Everton. So, yeah. Nick Pope. I mean, there is just Ramsdale just waiting, isn't there? There is just Ramsdale waiting in the wings, really. So, yeah, probably wouldn't be as keen on that one. Like I said, guys, we are going to do another round of team reviews at 8:30. So, make sure you're getting your teams sent in as well. I'm going to have a go on the coin. Of course, if anybody else wants to have a go on the holy coin, make sure you're doing it. I'm going to put João Pedro as heads and Mateta as tails, okay? Tails. João Pedro was heads, so that means Mateta. That means Mateta. Okie dokie. Yeah, they had Miguel last season. I remember him. Where did he go? This is what I mean. Like, where have they got? What are they doing with all the goalkeepers? I would probably go Wood if you're not going to free hit in 6. If you are going to free hit in 6, probably Mateta. Saw hat trick. Okay. Based holy coin. Yeah, maybe the holy coin is back. Your opinion on cash? Yeah, all right. I think there's probably better options though. Coin, please. Van de Ven or Van Dijk to start. Tails for Van de Ven. Van Dijk is heads. Okay. Tails. Apologies if you've already explained, but what's the thinking behind Mateta? Good fixtures. The worst fixture he's got is in 6, and I'm free hitting in 6 anyway, so yeah. I think the coin knows what it's doing. I'm going to listen to it and go with Salah cap. He's never a bad option, even against the good teams. He's got an alright record against Arsenal as well, to be fair, Abby. I don't mind it either, you know. I don't mind it either. I might even ask the coin... Yeah, the coin did pick... I might do a Bruno or Salah for the coin, you know. Yeah, I might do a Bruno or Salah for the coin. What's the Liverpool prediction? I think I'm going to go like 2-2. I think the scoreline will be like 2-2. Yeah. Torn between Mateta and Gyökeres. Yeah. Not a bad option, is it? If I could afford Gyökeres, I think I would. But unfortunately, I can't. So I think we're going to go for Mateta. The coin has spoke Mateta. The Fantasy Football Hub has suggested Mateta. Some very intelligent people in the chat have also said Mateta. Can I ever go on the holy coin, use my transfer, or roll my transfer, or use a -4? Yes. Tails is going to be roll. No, heads is going to be roll. Tails is going to be take the -4. Heads, baby. Best 6.5, probably going to be Saar, right? Probably going to be Saar. It is always a 2-2 game. It is always a 2-2 game, right? It is always that. No, yeah, I understand it. Like, if you've got bench cover, you could just realistically bench Palmer this week and he could be back. Am I really risking not getting a 50% owned player? Yes. Yes, I am. I have not started the season with João Pedro. We might continue to not have João Pedro. Yeah. Yeah, that's where we could be at. Yeah, roll on -4 is really like... Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Can I ever go on the Holy Coin? Mateta or Gokares? Heads is going to be Mateta. Tails is going to be Gokares, alright? Ah! Heads. I dropped it that time. Can I go with the Holy Coin and die or Salah? Of course you can. Salah heads and die tails, alright? Tails and die captain for you, sir. Enjoy that one. I'm captaining from Barry from Everton. Barry is the worst player in the world. Oh my god. I was at the game on Wednesday. Like, if anybody doesn't know, I support Mansfield. We play in League One. We got them in the Carabao Cup. Barry played, and we're currently playing a number 9 at centre-back. Genuinely, a striker at centre-back. And he got pocketed by a striker. Barry is honestly one of the worst strikers I've ever seen in the Premier League. One of the worst. He is genuinely god awful. Terrible. Like, I would not go near Barry. No. Don't go near it. Like I said, guys, we're going to do some more team ratings at 8:30. So, yeah, get your team sent to me on Twitter. Obviously, if you don't follow me on Twitter already, it's right above my head. At FPLTom_. Leave it under my most recent tweet. And, yeah, we'll get, obviously, round to reviewing some of those. Do keep, obviously, the likes coming in. Keep the subscriptions coming in as well. We're approaching 150 likes on today's stream. It'd be great if we could hit that. And, yeah, it'd be great if we could have, obviously, of course, hit 17.5 before the conclusion of this weekend. Honestly, it's not just one game. Like, Beto is just as bad. Like Beto came on and looked even worse. Like, the both of them are just terrible. They're just terrible. They're just terrible forwards. They're not good. Neither of them are good. No. Not good options. Hi, Tom. Do I take out Watkins, Palmer for Dewsbury Hall and Haaland, or Palmer and Gui for Kudus, Sarr and Wood? I like that. I think if I could get to Haaland, I would. I do like it. If you're going to captain him as well this week, then yeah, I do like it. But how many other times are you going to captain him over the next few weeks is the question I would be asking. So, I do maybe prefer the second option. But yeah, please don't spam in the chat, David. I know people want to get their questions answered, but yeah, no need for spamming. All right? Like I said, team reviews in 3 minutes, so get those sent in and we'll do some more of those. Give me a spin on the Holy Coin. Kudus or Vert, who to start? Tails is going to be Kudus. Heads is going to be Vert. Tails, there you go. I mean, they didn't, but okay. No worries, mate. Jamie came in the chat and said, "Ain't no getting a mod." I have no idea how Barry was good last season. Genuinely no idea. What time is the deadline? It is at 11 o'clock, so we've got a long time to go. Yeah, Mansfield did start off good. First half, we were in the game. Second half, just yeah, not it. Would you take out Virgil for Tark? I wouldn't do that move. No, I wouldn't do that move. Hi, Tom. Who do I bench? Semenyo, Kudus, or Gakpo? Probably Gakpo, given the fixture. I would probably say, yeah. Do you think keep Wirtz until you free hit / wildcard? Yeah, Wirtz is probably going to stay within the side till, like, game week. 7. Hi there, big boy. Who won the coin flip for captaincy? I'm on your stream with bated breath. I haven't decided whether or not we're going to bring in Pedro yet. So we might be bringing in Mateta. Mateta won the coin flip, so yeah, I think it might be Mateta. So there might not be a captaincy flip. The only other captaincy flip we might do is Salah or Bruno. So yeah, that is where my head is at, man. That is where my head is at. Obviously, go and check out Golden Goal. He's closing in on 17k as well. So obviously, he's streaming right now as well. Yeah. Coin flip for Bruno or Salah, please. All right, we're going to do it. We're going to do the big one, all right? Tails is going to be Bruno. Heads is going to be Salah, okay? Mo Salah has come out ahead on the coin. Mo Salah, ladies and gentlemen, is the coin's captaincy pick for this week. There you go. The coin's captaincy flick. There we go. All right. It is 1:30, so let's get some more team reviews done for you guys as well. Let's see what we've had sent in. Good amount here, so let's whip through some of these. But yeah, interesting on the old coin debate there. What was the last one we did? I think this is the newest one. I'm putting captain on Richie, but struggling with the benching dilemma. Whether to bring in Gakpo. Who do you start him ahead of there, really? Yeah, I guess it is maybe that toss-up between Gyökeres and Gakpo, really. So I think you probably got it the right way. I'm so glad it happened. Bro, are you going to go for Salah now? Are you going to go for Salah? The team as it stands did Palmer to Ndoye last night, as I can see Forest doing well. Plan on game week 4 wildcard, bench boost in game week 6. Fair enough. On a wildcard, who would you cap? Haaland to Wood, Torn. I think if I've got Haaland, give Haaland the move. Yeah. The rest of the team though looks pretty decent. Like I said, guys, if I've got Haaland, I would give him the armband for this week. Jesus Christ, how small is this team, Dylan? What is this? What is this? I'll try and squint. I'll try and have a look. Virgil Wan-Bissaka's a bit of a problem, isn't he? I can't even see who's on your bench. Jesus. If you send me that a bit bigger, I can maybe have a look at it. Free hit team. Wood, Haaland. Nice. Marmoush, get him out. Get Marmoush out. No, not a pick. Not a pick. Gotta be at least probably another. I would rather play Ndoye ahead of Marmoush this week. Yeah, that's where I'd sit on that one. Hey pal, move Palmer to Saar before the price drop. 5 million in the bank, 1 free transfer. Thinking of going KDH to Kudos, Johnson, Barnes, or Alanga. Plan to free hit in 6-2. I mean, you could just stick it out for this week, and we can then see what Xavi Simons looks like. I think that's maybe the more sensible move in my opinion. On a wild card, Johnson or Alanga or Ansar or Cunha. I would rather have Saar in my opinion. If I go Alanga, should I go Vicario? I mean, you could just stick it out like that, right? But I would be tempted to go for Saar. You've already got Richie, who's 1 rotation risk. Johnson added in there as well could also be another rotation risk. It's not really worth it. Dylan, please send me a screen where I can see the team. Any changes I should make? No. I think that's a decent team for this week. Yeah, I think I'd be happy with that if that was my team for this week. Coolio Iglesias, guys, thank you very much for sending those in. Did Palmer go down last night? He did. Yeah, Palmer went down last night. Semenyo went up. So I caught like a nice little juicer there. Nice little juicer. When is the deadline? It is at 11. I have 3.3 million in the bank. Why? We're still deciding who to captain. We're still deciding who to captain and who to bring in. Mateta or Pedro. So yeah. Looking at captaincy for this week, then Wood at 32%, Bruno at 31%. He is coming through. He is coming through. The coin did speak though. The coin did say that Salah was the better pick. So yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, if you've not got Bruno or Haaland, then yeah, Wood should be a great option. Yeah, that's why I did the move last night. He wasn't predicted in some places to go down, but I was like, I just can see it happening. I was like, I can just fully see them dropping his price. So I was like, I'm just not gonna risk it. Semenyo was going up as well, and I was just like, yeah, let's just get the Semenyo rise at least. And in the end, it's worked out wonders. So yeah. What's my reasoning for Tielemans? He was just a pick that I was a little bit unsure what Anderson's minutes were going to be like with Douglas Luiz long term. And it's just going to be one of those where it is just like a steady Eddie across the board. So, yeah, that's kind of where my head was at with that one. He plays very, very much like 90 minutes, but he's not hitting DEFCON at the moment. Kind of not really playing in a position that suits his best qualities. Could be on penalties as well. Missed my team. Sorry, bro. I went through everybody's teams that were there. If I did miss it, I can only apologise. Sometimes Twitter doesn't pull through like everybody's teams. If you want to send it me in the chat, I'll 100% see it before we finish up today. Richarlison out-cooking Pedro this week. Big claim, but you could see it happening. I think Wood could be a great option. Like, I genuinely do think Wood is a good option. I'm not ruling Wood out. I'm just saying with me free hitting in 6, I miss one of his best fixtures. Villa's good fixtures. Yeah, I get it. I do get it. Like, that's the thing as well. I knew Villa were going to have very, very good fixtures. So Tielemans could just sit in the squad for 7 weeks. Like, just if he does do anything, like, the fixtures are there for Villa to do something. So I'm hoping something starts to click a little bit. Semenyo or Johnson? I'd prefer to go for Semenyo, I think. Yeah, he would probably be the one. Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Let's get the Forest fixtures up with Murillo here, right? So the fixtures I would have Chris Wood for. Can you guys? I can't quite see if you can see the fixtures. Can you see the fixtures? Sort of, yeah. So they'd have West Ham this week, which is a great fixture. Next week, I'd have to bench him. Then I get the Burnley in 5. But Sunderland at home, which is arguably probably up there with West Ham, I'm on a free hit anyway. Then I'm looking at 7, 8 and 9, and even 10 probably. Do I want Chris Wood in that period? European football starts to kick off? Probably not. So it just feels like maybe I'm booking in a transfer for a player that I'm already going to pick up anyway on a free hit in 6, just to have him for Burnley and West Ham. Does that feel like the right move? I don't know. Whereas I think João Pedro can just stay very comfortably. And Mateta, I get an alright fixture this week. But then I get Sunderland and another one. And then he's got an alright fixture in 7 anyway. So he's not an immediate transfer out. If, of course, bigger concerns and bigger issues rise. And I also don't think I've got to worry about his minutes with Nketiah looking like he's out till like October the 18th. So, yeah. That is where I'm at right now. That is honestly where I'm at. And yeah. Yeah, we'll do another one in 5 minutes, alright guys? We'll do one final check of team reviews and stuff like that in 5 minutes, okay? That'll be the final one for today. It will be Cooper Jr. for Mateta, and then we'll bench Anderson. Yeah, that will be the play. All right. I'm still really, really undecided. Like, who genuinely do we go for? Is it Mateta or João Pedro? Let me know in the chat. Which one do I go for? Mateta or João Pedro? I am unsure. Barnes or Elanga? I think Elanga's minutes longer term probably going to be more 100% certain. Does anybody know if Strand Larson is 100% out? Just a doubt. It's not looking good, is what I'd say. It's not looking good. Do I captain João Pedro or Salah? I mean, this is probably a week to take on Mohamed Salah. Let's be real. It is a week to take on Mohamed Salah, in my opinion. But is João Pedro going to be the one? I don't know. Is Mbeumo a good Marmoush replacement in my free hit? Yeah. 100%. 100%, yeah. That is, for me, the better fixture, and where I probably would put my thing. Why 3.3 million in the bank? Like I said, we're going to make that transfer on a striker. People are looking at João Pedro. I get it. It is tight. Mateta, since I am on game week 6 free hit, yeah. Abby thinks Mateta. I mean, the captaincy did suggest that Salah was going to be the best one. So, yeah. I'm going Mateta. Current rank, I mean, it's like, it's in the millions, and it's high in the millions. But I'm not too worried about that. Not yet, anyway. Nobody is better than Jean-Philippe Mateta. The one that'll either, to be honest, because I just go through my notifications. So whatever you pick, it just does automatically like filter in. It does do that. So yeah, I won't worry too much about it. And it doesn't what you preach. Father, Father. Why is this song in my head? I have no idea why this song's in my head, but it is. Who else could be on pens? Probably no one. I do think it is João Pedro. Thank you very much for the generous donation, Matt. Really appreciate that one. I can't decide between Mbeumo, Cunha or Bruno. I feel today one will break out for the game. Which one do you think it will be? I think before the Grimsby game, I was going to say Cunha. And I still think it could be Cunha. I think Cunha could be the one. So, yeah. I probably would look at... I think Cunha. I do genuinely think Cunha would be my one. Bruno's probably the safe and the steady Eddie that you could go for. And looks like a lot of people are going to go for captaincy. He's the top captaincy selection here. But, yeah, man, I do feel like Cunha could be the one. But maybe we're going to... Maybe we're undervaluing Brian. Maybe we are. Am I wildcarding anytime soon? Nope. Don't have any plans to wildcard. Do I think he'll be rested since he played 90 minutes in the Europa? Who else have they got up front? Nketiah's out injured. No. Yeah. If I can bench him in game week 9, then yeah, probably, yeah, the fixtures are really, really good. I probably think at that point, though, we might have a situation where everybody's rocking like Isak and Gyökeres up front. We could realistically have a situation where that is what the front two of the Premier League is. Like, everyone's got that. So again, if I bring Mateta in, it gives me already that money within the second striker spot. It is then just trying to find the money to upgrade both of them. Thoughts on Xavi Simons for Tottenham? Probably not a good thing for Porro long term. Definitely going to eat into some of Porro's set pieces and stuff like that. Put Dubravka in. I mean, Dubravka is fancied by like the Fantasy Football Hub model to score one better point. But if you look at the betting data, it does have Verbergen as the higher clean sheet percentage. So, yeah, that's where we're at in terms of that one. Eze was a big contributor. 100%. Eze was a big contributor. I get it. I do get it. I am honestly so stuck between this decision. And I'm really, really not sure which way to go on it. I'm really, really not sure what way to go on it. Should I buy Wirtz for Bruno in game week 4? Look how Wirtz gets on, really. Like, I don't think he's a player that I would be buying, but he's also not a player I would probably recommend selling right now. By the way, guys, we're extremely close to 150 likes on today's stream. So if you haven't already, make sure you are hitting that like button. It pushes it out to more people, which is exactly what we want to see as well. But yeah, go for it. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you are new around here. We're trying to hit 17.5 before the conclusion of this weekend. And it is only possible with your guys' amazing support as always on this channel. If Lawson is missing today, get Pickford. Wolves are hopeless without. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident on a Tarkowski clean sheet today. I'm feeling very, very confident on that one. We have just smashed through the 150 like barrier, so thank you very much for that one. Have you seen that in game week 14, which is midweek? Sunderland have Liverpool away, and then game week 15 they have Man City away. That is a rough week for Sunderland. Yeah, could be a very good opportunity for TC potential there as well, Abby. Yeah, could be one. Yeah, like I've said, I think if you've got Haaland, he is going to be the best captaincy pick for this week. He is going to be the best captaincy pick. Who do we go for, man? Do we go Zhao or do we go Mateta? Like, I'm honestly so unsure which way to go on it. So unsure. Let's do some team reviews. All right, let's do some quick team reviews. See what's been sent in on Twitter. What ones have we got? We've got these ones here. 4 million in the bank. Could I stick it on Gui or a striker? I mean, I probably would. Yeah, or maybe upgrade Strand Larsen. Like, there's some doubts around him playing today, so that might be the one. You could very easily roll, though. You could very easily roll and Anderson just comes in and makes that a back four. Like, that could be the option. 60 plus pointer this week. Palmer for Bruno. Yep, makes sense. Haaland cap I like. Team looks good. I fancy that. I moved Palmer out and also upgraded one of my defenders before the Wolves press conference. Now I have 6 attackers, assuming Strand Larsen won't start. Should I take a hit to upgrade Guwu? No, I'd just roll with that. I think I would roll with that for 1 week. I don't think that's worth a hit. I don't think that is worth a hit, in my opinion anyway. Right, so this is where we're at. We've got Mateta in here, or do we want to go for Pedro? Why is that not even suggesting Pedro for me? Well, he's clearly the better option. I mean, I do have the money. I made this move last night. I do have the money in the bank to go and get João Pedro. I think. Oh, yeah, because he's factoring in that 0.2. But I do have the money to go and get João Pedro. So this is where we're at. Do we go and get João? Or do we go and get Mateta? Like Fulham, Brentford, United, it is just a good set of fixtures. Brighton in game week 6. 7 I would come out and have Liverpool, which is not ideal. 8, 9, nice. 60% ownership as well is frightening. It is frightening, isn't it? Absolutely devastating. Which site is this? This is Fantasy Football Hub. If you want to go and check it out, there is a link in the description as always. Yeah. João Pedro or Mateta is going to be the big call. And which way we go for it. Pedro, I don't think, is a no-brainer, though. I don't think he is a no-brainer. I might have a flip of the coin and see what it's suggesting in terms of Bruno or Pedro. So Bruno's going to be heads. Tails is going to be João Pedro, all right? It's landed on tails. It just has landed on tails, hasn't it? Oh. Mateta will be a nice... I'm not factoring in ownership. I'm not worried about who's more highly owned or whatever. Yeah. Break the template and go Richarlison. Yeah. There's always just Solanke waiting round the corner, isn't there? He will be a 90-minute man. He will be a 90-minute man, but how long does he keep those 90 minutes? Replace Palmer with a hit for Dewsbury Hall? Jesus. Not for a hit, no. Yeah, I mean, I regret going with Wirtz. He's probably... You know, I've had, like... I don't regret anybody else because I understand the logic of why I picked them. But yeah, Wirtz has been a bit dusty, hasn't he? João Pedro or Mateta. And it's... I don't know which way to go. Save every penny for Ekatike. I think if it's looking like that Isak move is ramping up, Ekatike is a non-runner in my opinion if Isak joins. So yeah. He is a non-runner if that happens. I just played Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, I'm 100%. I'm giving him time. Like, I'm not rushing him out. I'm giving him all the time in the world to do it. Save every penny for Isak when he's available. Yeah, that's the thing. I probably will like move to him at some point. Mateta all day long, people are saying. Would you go Wood over both João Pedro and Mateta or nah? The reason I'm not going Wood is the free hit in 6 is when I'm planning on playing it. Yeah, the coin did say it, but the coin has been quite wrong this season. The coin has been very, very wrong this season. Oh my days. This is such a difficult decision. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And if you're unsure, I do believe you should never make a transfer if you're unsure. Man, it is difficult. It is difficult. It is really, really difficult. Probability suggests the coin has to be positive, yeah. Yeah, I saw yesterday that the Palace don't start playing European football now till October, whereas Forest obviously kick off a little bit sooner. There's only 6 match days in the Conference League group stages, so it doesn't feel as bad. Like, I can have him for a few more weeks. Yep, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Does mean the absolute world to me as always. So do keep those coming in. As I guess we kind of decide what we want to do with our team. They are, like, this is the thing. They're both going to be better than, not Gui, the other one. João Pedro does have European football sooner, doesn't he? He does have European football sooner. Alright. I think my mind's made up. I think my mind is made up. I think we're doing it. My mind's made up. We're going for it. We're going for it. We're going for it. Done. It is done, ladies and gentlemen. It is done. Let's reorder this bench order. Put him there. It's done. It's done. It's done. We've gone for Mateta. It's done. Man, that is a scary decision. That is a scary decision. Yeah, best of luck to you, Abby, as well. Best of luck to you as well. We've gone with it. We've gone with the Mateta. We've gone with the Mateta boom, boom, boom. And we do also get to sing that song. We do also get to sing that song now. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. There's nobody better than John Fleming Mateta. Oh, dear me. Right, if anybody is a betting man, probably bet on Pedro. Yeah, I'm pretty much locked in on 6. I was always going to be locked in on 6 anyway. I just think Haaland captaincy has led me down that route. Haaland captaincy has led me down that route. But yeah, here we are with Jean-Philippe Mateta in our side. So yeah, what could go wrong? I might have to get a corner flag so we can just kick it. João Pedro is definitely hauling now today, guys. But João Pedro is the first game of today. And you know what that means. You know exactly what that means. That means Mahatma Gandhi is going to be in full force for this early kickoff. Mahatma Gandhi is gonna reign supreme in the first kickoff, isn't he? Come on, Gandhi. Don't let me down. Big up the Gandhi. We're all for a bit of the Gandhi look. Oh, dear, dear, dear. No, there was never a shout for Cunha. We had Bruno from game week 1. So, yeah. We always had Bruno. Play Rodgers or Milenkovic. Maybe Rodgers. Rice or Wan-Bissaka. Pick Rice. I think West Ham could, realistically, some of the players could down tools today. Like, I think Mourinho to West Ham looks like the most kind of like Premier League thing I think I could ever see. Yeah, I could just see it happening. Of course, guys, do keep your questions coming in. Keep any questions coming in. Obviously, we've made our moves for this week. We've gone with Semenyo. We've gone with Jean-Philippe Mateta. Yeah, that's what we've done. Scary, I know, but we're all for it. Any thoughts on when to bench boost? I could realistically bench boost in 5. There is that possibility for me that I could bench boost in 5. So yeah, that's an option. 5 or 8, I think. With the like, you got to think when do Burnley have good ones? Why is Mourinho to West Ham not a chance? The guy has literally said he wants to come back to Premier League football for a team that doesn't compete in UEFA competitions. West Ham in London. He's got property in London. Why not? They'll pay ridiculous amounts of money for him as well. Munoz as well, yeah. I think a lot of people are, of course, going to start to load up on Palace in the next few weeks. And at least we've got some coverage of that. That is one of the things I have been concerned about, is how do I get some coverage for Mateta? But we've got it. We've got it. Ted Lasso to West Ham, yeah. That I also could see as well. Start Caicedo or Eze. Probably Eze, I'd say. Yeah, I think you got to go Eze, right? Can't go anyone else. I went Pedro. Fair. Yeah, I still think, like, look, João Pedro was still always going to be a good pickup, whatever. If you were in the same position as me. By the way, guys, we only need 3 more subscribers to hit 17.3k. So if you aren't subscribed already, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. It means the absolute world for me. And yeah, let's see if we can smash out 200 likes as well. We're at 170. There's 300 of you watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button. It does push the stream out to more people, and that's exactly what, of course, we want to see. No, there's not going to be any more team reviews. We've done 3 rounds, I think, of team reviews today. We only usually do like 1. But yeah, we've only got 1. Why Bruno, not Cunha? I already had Bruno. I've had him since game week 1. So there's the whole appeal of going for Bruno. We already had it. Sell Palmer for a hit or Anderson first bench? Anderson. Saka to Salah for a -4 hit. It does give you the best captaincy for future weeks, so I don't mind it. I've Salah, Semeno, Anderson. Probably Saw then would be my pick there, Toby, mate. My plan was to get Wood for Gui and Semeno for Palmer, but the price killed me. Any alternatives? Maybe Saw in midfield will help you be able to get that move. Can you do more guess the players? Yeah, they're pretty much going to be in every single stream going forward. Obviously, this week we had the one this week. We had the 2 this week. They took a while for people to get as well. So, yeah, I think we did a good job. We have just hit 17.3. So, thank you very, very much for your continued support on this channel. You guys are just legends. Like, absolute legends as always, aren't you? Like, love you. Love you guys a lot. Like I said, if you do obviously want to help the channel hit 17.5 as well, keep the show rolling. Keep the good times ticking in. It is appreciated as always. I think it's worth going to Cooper another go against City or play... Who is that? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Selverts to Alanga for a -4 wild card. If you're on a wild card next week anyway, what you bring... Like, I wouldn't do a -4 for that now. I have Palmer and Solanke, but only 1 free transfer. Do I still get both out? If you've got bench cover, maybe leave Palmer. Like, if he's back after the international break, then, yeah, then you can save yourself the -4. Bruno Wood, captain. If it's done already, sorry, I missed it. I personally would maybe go Bruno, but I understand the appeal of Chris Wood. Looking at the poll, they're both neck and neck, Bruno and Wood. Like, both on 30% each. Oh, Ronaldo. Who they got this week? Brentford. It's not a bad fixture, man. I think I'd actually play him. I'd play him. I'd take that gamble. They've got probably better clean sheet odds. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I'm going to safely say they probably have. Why Mateta, not Pedro? Many reasons, really. The free hit in game week 6, the fixture in game week 7 coming out of the free hit means that I can maybe roll again and give myself another week where we can build as many transfers to go into Arsenal players, because a lot of people are going to be wildcarding around the game week 6, game week 7 period, looking to bring in Arsenal players. So we need to try and get ahead, well, try and build that with our transfers, because we're planning to wildcard a little bit later. So, yeah, that's kind of the thought process with that one. Yeah, we've done a boatload of team reviews already. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream for, to be honest. A lot of, obviously, the big boys are going live now, and I also need a poo. So, there is that as well. Yeah. I would say Pape Sarr is a minute's risk. Yes, I wouldn't go anywhere near him. No, I wouldn't go anywhere near him. Not for me anyway, personally. Just not a pick. Not a pick now they've signed Thingy. But yeah, looking at the captaincy poll already, it's saying like Bruno's going to be, I would say, the most popular captain this week, I think. Thoughts on Ndoye or Ataro? I probably would prefer Ataro. He gave me flashbacks to Brian and Buemo. I think he could have a big day today, you know. I think he could have a big day. He really, really could. Yeah, I think he could be decent, to be fair. Eye for each other, eye for each other. You've always got to wait for a poo, right? You've always just got to, like, wait to poo until the big boys came out to play. Lad, it's fair. Like, this is it. This is the grind you've got to do as well. I think he'll probably play the 10. I don't know if he'll play the left. I think he'll probably want to play the 10 more than the left. But yeah, we've came out. We've had a poo. Well, we need a poo. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the poo. Let me tell you that. It's going to be a good one. It is going to be a good shit. Let me tell you that, guys. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Right. I think I'm going to leave things there, to be honest, guys. The stream has been incredible. You guys have been amazing. Like I said, I need the bathroom. We've done a good few hours today. We were up obviously at like 6:30 to do today's stream. You've absolutely smashed it out of the park. We've made our moves. We've gone with Mateta. We've gone with Semeno. We're praying to like the gods, the coins, everything. Mateta, big score this week. All right, let's have it. Okay, let's hope for the Palmer blank. Let's hope for the Mateta dub. Okay, that is what we're here for. Like I said, guys, thank you very much for all your support on today's stream. There will be a video out tonight discussing transfer targets. There'll probably be a video out maybe tomorrow, potentially. I know it's a little bit of a later kickoff, the 7 o'clock one. So there might be one maybe Monday. There'll be some content over the international break as well. But I'm away for a little bit, so there might be a little bit of less content. But there'll still be content to keep you guys entertained as always. Honestly, best of luck to everybody this game week. Let's hope, let's pray for some big green arrows. Thank you very much, guys. Massively appreciate, like I said, everybody's support in the channel. Obviously, go and check out all the big boys and stuff like that. Raptor, Harry, Andy, Vocal. Go and check them out. Fran. Just, yeah, go and give them some support. Yeah, because they all do amazing jobs as well. And yeah, thank you very much, guys. Like I said, massively appreciate it. Best of luck this game week. Let's go and get some green arrows.